I just said goodbye to my Ferrari. Let's start at the beginning. The last time you guys saw the Ferrari was on a road trip with Matt Armstrong where the car broke down on the side of the road in Italy. I drove like a You did. This is karma. Gonna see if it starts now. Maybe it's cooled down.
Come on, car.
No. Nope.
Nothing. Yeah, electrical system failure. It's still got the electrical fault.
Since then, a lot has happened. I fought with Ferrari. Fact of the matter is, it's a brand new car. I have not been able to enjoy it in any way, shape or form. I blew up another car.
So what did they say there?
They said that, yeah, I need new engine. We're gonna go on a road trip in 24 hours, mate. I need a bad car now. Bought another GT3. That is mad. That is mad. And potentially buying a racetrack. For that one, you need to stay on the video. We're gonna talk about that later on. After not being able to drive the car for several months, I thought it was time to actually take the car with me on a test run to see what the problems are and learn from the car and learn how to solve the problems that are actually in the car, because it is a drivable car. Mechanically, there's nothing wrong with the car. I'm gonna be taking this car on the first road trip after the disaster in Italy and Monaco. It's gonna probably most definitely give us problems. I don't know if they're gonna be fatal. It is what it is. Now, let me explain, because many of you guys said, Nico, why did you modify this car? And you're right, that could cause problems. But guess what? These problems are not caused because I put a Novitec exhaust on this car. I have proof that the problems of this car, and I mentioned this before, were there before I replaced the Novitec exhaust system, because I picked up the car on the 15th of June 2023, and this is a video with the same issues 3 days after I picked up the car. And all this data, all these errors are stored in the history of the car. And Ferrari just says, nah, it's your fault. So I got my first errors. I got my first problems. But the car is not responding any different, so I think we're good to keep going. Right, that is not good. What is it saying? That's the rear wheel steering. The lights are not working anymore. That is crazy, lads. This is a computer problem. That's what it is. Like, there's nothing wrong with the car. But I'm gonna switch her off, see what happens. Yes, she's okay. She's back in race. Yes! Right, son. The car is working, no faults now. So I'm trying to learn more and more about the car. I think I'm getting there. I think I'm understanding how to reset it. Let's see what happens now. Nothing is popping up. That's good. That view is ridiculous. Holy hell. That's insane. Right, I had to stop. A lot of technical issues, including no brakes. That's a problem. Right, so let me do a test here, a proper test. So let me see. Yeah, this is bad. So you see this one? Sometimes that one stays on. But I think if you start her now, the errors are gone. So the noise is still there. Yeah, she's gone. Race, well, she's in race. It does have an engine failure, but at least it's in race. At least the other errors are all gone. If I now switch this off, yeah, and then go out of the car, lock it, the engine failure will be gone as well. Okay. How mad is that? Car should be reset by now. Let's have a look. Yeah, can it work? No. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's a problem. It probably has reset the car. I kind of was prepared something like this would happen. So I brought the spare key, but that will be also not registered. So I don't know what to do here. This is a problem. Holy f***, why is this not working? For f***'s sake. Now the car won't start in any way, shape or form.
Is there not somewhere you can put that key in that will open the door?
I can open the door, that's not the problem. The problem is here. Let me see if this works. Yeah, all the errors are back. The f***ing hell, his car. We made it back home. We done approximately 800 miles. A few things I've learned actually. One of which is if I go on trips like this, definitely need to change the suspension because it's too low. I've actually hit the bottom of the car a few times when I went into corners. Like, I mean, it's an insane car and it's absolutely beautiful, but indeed, I understand why Ferrari has different springs on it because that V12 is extremely heavy. One thing I didn't film is me destroying the bottom of my Ferrari. This, of course, has got to do with me pushing the car to its absolute limit. Well, the factory springs weren't on the car. Forget about all the electronical issues that we have and all the sensors. I actually physically damaged the car. Everything is in the bottom, and the reason why it is damaged is not because I'm an incapable driver. Maybe I am as well, but the springs, of course, the car is significantly lower than it was in stock with different springs. So that means that the weight of this very hefty engine is coming down significantly harder. There are different springs on there, you see what I mean? So let's talk about the under tray. So start here. See all these flaps here? This is all for aerodynamics. Now, as you can see, this is all relatively destroyed. As you can see all the scrapes on the bottom of the car. That is the road, basically. That is the car getting flat on the road. We'll go back here. This is quite interesting, by the way. I'll show you here. See this? This is to cool the gearbox. I think it's this one. Yeah, it must be this one. This is to cool the exhaust. Right, so all these gaps. As you can see, this one is broken. So that is like the whole under tray is broken because I drove it too hard. When you have a Novitec system and springs and stuff like that, or your car is lowered in general, do not drive it the way I drove it. Right? The car is built for performance. The car is built for all sorts of madness. But if you then modify that car, that's when you get into trouble. I can't blame Ferrari. I can blame myself. I drove the car too fast. So there's a lot of parts here, as you can see, that need to be replaced, including this. This one completely, look at this. It's completely ripped off. And this is to control the airflow underneath the car. It's complete and utter ripped off. That's insane. This is going to be fully replaced. That's going to be replaced. This is damaged. It's going to have to be replaced. The fins, damaged the fins as well. Luckily, I didn't damage the carbon fiber because then it would have been a expensive build, to be honest. I think the bill now is still hefty. It's about 5,000 pounds, but it is less if it was the actual carbon fiber. That would have been a disaster, to be honest. I mean, the whole under tray, I drove it so hard. The roads in Scotland were so like bumpy. You drive it like, it's just insane, mate. The roads were beautiful, but I've learned a lesson here. I've learned a valuable lesson that I shouldn't drive an A12 or at least a modified A12 or at least a lowered A12 like that on roads like that. But for now, we need to just get this fixed because the car needs to go on transport to Supercar Fest in Nottinghamshire or whatever the that is. Because the new Gumball 3000 livery is going to be presented on this car. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of stuff that has to be done. Listen, I love how the car looks. I love the Novitec springs because it looks so much more beautiful. The profile of the car is nearly pitch perfect. But of course, you're going to make some form of sacrifice, and in this case, it's performance. And that brings us to today. Literally 5 minutes ago, I waved goodbye to my Ferrari as it got picked up to be taken away into a shipping container and shipped halfway across the world. Yes, I'm gonna take this car on the Gumball. This car is on its way to Vietnam, which will, by the way, take months. The start of the most incredible car rally in the world, the Gumball 3000, this year is gonna be in Vietnam, Saigon to be precise. And the fun fact, this is the 25th anniversary of the Gumball. I hear you thinking, Nico, the Ferrari A12 has given you so much. Why are you taking that on a 3,000 mile road trip on the other side of the planet? Yeah, I don't know either. After so many debates and considering so many different options of what am I actually taking on the Gumball, what everyone said that have done the Gumball before, you'll never forget the car you do the Gumball with. There is going to be a special connection between you and the car. It's something special to see your own car at the other side of the world. The photos, the memories you have with that car is going to be irreplaceable. So I had to take a car I knew I was going to keep for the rest of my life. The Gumball starts in Vietnam and then drive into Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, and then the finish is in Singapore, F1. We arrive at Singapore on the 22nd, the day of the race. How insane is that? So, the Ferrari is gone now. So let's have a look at all the cars we have today to make content with. There's a lot of plans we're having. There's a lot of things happening in the meantime. There's a good few cars you haven't seen yet, one of which is gonna arrive in about a week or two, and that's gonna be big time, to be honest. One of the two GT3s, this is the signal yellow 992 GT3, a car that was previously owned by my dear friend James Walker, Mr. JWW. I really appreciate you selling me your car.
It's officially yours now.
Yeah,
it's officially yours.
mine.
It's a car that's been very important for me, and it's been great for the channel. And it took, do you know how long it took? And I know you're not necessarily a big fan of the colour, but in the Porsche world, having a PTS allocation on a car is really special.
Yeah.
And it took me buying a lot of Porsches for them to say, okay. So that was
That's
the car,
insane.
that was my first PTS allocation. So I'm really happy that the baton is passed to a madman.
That's it. Well, we need to do something with this car, and I want to use it to its full potential. 2 weeks ago, I had this car on Knock Hill racetrack in Scotland. I really pushed that car and my own abilities, to be honest, because I ended up in a gravel. Some gravel got in between the brake calipers here as well. It damaged the wheels because of that. When you end up in a gravel in a car, the underlay of the car will be full with stones. So I was together with a friend of mine, and we drove home with this car. It's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But he was driving behind me, so all those stones were falling off that engine cover underneath my car, hitting his window. I hope you know the story with my first GT3, the white 991.1. I blew up the engine, so a new engine had to be acquired for that, which Porsche managed for us till perfection. And to be honest, I cannot believe to say this, that Porsche service have been incredible. Porsche Perf, I love you guys to bits. And in a couple of weeks, we're able to pick up that car with a brand new engine. These are the GT3s. Then we have the Taycan. I'm not gonna lie, I just got this car as a VAT write-off. I'm just gonna say it the way it is. And I didn't plan to drive it, but I absolutely love it. Cannot believe I'm actually saying this. Absolutely love that car. It's fast, it has everything, it's comfortable, it is spacious. I can only really drive that car to the office and back in to see clients. Then we have the crew car. Johnny has driven this car, Gareth has driven this car. This is basically the slot of the channel. I use it for golf, and if I don't use it for golf, it is being used as a crew car. My wife drives the G63, which I really, really love. I've only driven it a couple of 100 miles until I had to give it to her, for f***'s sake. We also have two cars in America, including a 370Z. And a police car.
Put it against the wall, let's go. Come on.
Don't stop, Nico!
I see nothing! We need to talk about two cars we have in America, and I would like your help. They're parked in your garage, HQ,
Slowly just
Premises.
deteriorating.
accumulating rent, and there'll be interest on that rent. But yeah, don't worry, I got your back.
What's your question,
appreciate
Nico? What
that.
do you want to accomplish right now with our time? That's worth lots of money.
What are we going to achieve? What are we going to do
What
with
else
these
is
cars?
we
Can we burn?
Yeah, do it in the streets of Compton.
Yeah, if you left that car outside long enough, it would get
It'll
burned.
take care of itself.
It would.
You told me the cop car would come here with an American cop car livery on it for the streets of London.
That would be cool.
That would be sick.
So that's what we're going to do anyway.
Yeah.
The cop car we're going to bring back.
370 You
And
can
then
just burn.
no, the 370. I suggested he bring it back over here too. Take it back home and take it down to the boys at Drift Games and ask them to do a light drift build on it, which wouldn't be expensive. You need a bit of an angle kit, you need a handbrake, and that's just about it. And you could actually learn how to properly drift a car. I would find someone who's really interested on teaching people how to drift.
There's a trip to Japan where you can drift on Ibiza for a week.
Now we're going to
Be
Japan.
perfect.
I still don't know what to do with the cars, to be honest, but we'll leave that up to you guys, because you guys watch this channel, so you guys decide what happens with the cars. Comment below. There's something else that you guys haven't seen yet. I have a big garage upstairs with a very special car, a car you guys haven't seen yet. This is a secret old garage here. Have a look. Double gated. There you go. Look at that car, isn't she a beaut? This is a Rolls-Royce Corniche, 1978. That was owned by my former boss. I worked for him when I was 18 years old. I was his personal chauffeur. He was a very wealthy and important man. The car is immaculate, although the brake system has to be flushed. I think that this car deserves a full restoration. I want to drive this car. I want to have fun with this car. I need to find someone that is specialized in this type of Rolls-Royce. And if there's anyone watching that is specialized, or you know someone that is specialized, I would really, really love your help, because I want to bring this car back to its former glory. There's no body work that has to be done, just some engine work. It's not major work, but if you're watching this and you have knowledge and expertise, or you know someone that can help, please reach out via Instagram or email. I would really appreciate that.
I feel like we need to come up with like an excuse to bring this out someday.
Yeah. First we need to restore it. And then of course we have the quad. I have this quad for about 5 years now. Paid £5,000 for this quad. The shit I done with this quad, you cannot believe it. I done the maddest jumps without helmets and all sorts. I done the most dangerous stuff with this quad. Stuff I'm not gonna do ever again, because, jeez, I was a lunatic. I'm now a father of 2 children. I need to have some form of responsibility, you know? Best quad ever. I'm actually gonna bring this down. Hell, who put that there? There's something else I wanted to let you guys into, and I mentioned this in the beginning of the video. And this is potentially one of the biggest opportunities of my professional career to date. There's a racetrack in Northern Ireland currently for sale, and there's a part of me that really wants to buy that, so I can help boost the car scene here in Northern Ireland.
This is the track here. This is your start-stop lane here.
What an incredible, beautiful day. Look at this. Racetrack. Figuring out if this could be an option. Of course, there's a lot of work that has to be done. I don't know if we can pull this off. If we can, it could be like one of the biggest moves of my life. This is a full-blown racetrack. Rally, motor racing, car racing, etc. This is the paddock here, well, just before the track. This is where I was standing earlier. It overlooked this straight. So it's an absolutely beautiful racetrack, to be honest. There's a lot of things you need to build, but the basic facilities are here. Toilets there, there's an office here. But yeah, it needs a wee bit of work, to be honest. And as you can see here, this is for motorbikes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. This is for cars, obviously. As you can see, it would be insane if we actually pull this off. This is all very recent, and I'm trying to figure out if this actually is a good idea to move forward with. And if I go through with this, I really need your support to make this happen. And I'm gonna open this track to the public, throw some insane track days and incredible car meets with your favorite creators. I think we could make this the biggest and most popular racetrack in the country. Comment below if you think that this racetrack is a good idea, so I can keep you guys involved in this entire journey. I cannot do this without your support, because let me tell you, this is expensive.